Now, Africa Umoja wants to work with national governments and the private sector to build hospitals, to build clinics and homeless shelters, and that's to fight the coronavirus on the continent. For more on this, I'm now joined by one of its directors, Katie Brock. Very good morning, Katie. Thanks for being with us. First up, just give us a quick overview. Who is Africa Umoja?
Good morning, and thank you very much for the invitation. Africa Umoja is a collaboration between Africa Oil and Power, a company who builds oil, gas and power events, and Hott3d, a company who specializes in building event infrastructure in South Africa and Africa. Between us, we have the project management skill sets that are perfectly suited to producing emergency infrastructure fast and efficiently. And that's infrastructures like testing facilities, homeless facilities, quarantine facilities, etc.
Okay.
The initiative is basically to build the key infrastructure and temporary medical facilities by collaborating with other suppliers in the industry and the specialists that are able to make the projects feasible.
Looking at your website, I think one of the key things or phrases or word is rapidly build hospital infrastructure and shelters. How would you do that rapidly?
So because we've been in the industry for so long, we have the infrastructure already waiting, and we've got many suppliers who are willing to jump on board as soon as we've got the go-ahead. We already build events all over Africa, so we're very used to the conditions, the efficiency, etc. So it would literally be quite quick.
Because when I look at your website as well, I'm looking at some prefabrication, if I'm correct, some prefab infrastructure. Is that what you're proposing to say? And instead of what you're used to building for your events, you can now utilize that for emergency hospitals and maybe, whatever you can in order to fight the COVID-19 pandemic?
Yes, definitely.
Talk to us.
Infrastructure and everything.
Okay, talk to us about some of those supplies that you're talking about, because the first thing I would ask is the capacity.
The capacity is basically all of the suppliers in the Western Cape. Majority of them aren't doing anything at the moment because their events have been put on hold. So their infrastructure is literally just waiting to be moved. The infrastructure is from tenting to flooring to shell scheme to separate the individual booths to HVACs to power, water and waste, the medical behind it. We do have collaboration with certain partners who are able to assist with that. And then obviously the main thing is the temporary outdoor systems, which we could either put onto an already existing infrastructure and elongate, or basically modularize what we do need. So whether it's a small 3x3 tent for testing or whether it's a large 20x50 tent, it's very scalable. Okay,
so Umoja Africa is basically you position yourself in the middle to bring the private sector and government to work together to create this. Have you spoken with government, and are they buying this?
Yes, we have been in conversation with the Western Cape government per se, and because we do already have the relationships within Africa for certain other government members, we are in conversation with them too. Within our connectivity, we do work with a lot of IOCs and the oil companies and the financing behind certain projects. So we do really have that infrastructure to move forward and collaborate with them.
Any of your vendors, will they be able to, you can put up the structure, as you're saying, you can do that rapidly, and you have some of the structures in hand at the present moment. What about all the things that they might need inside when you talk about your beds and all the other internal infrastructure?
We do have suppliers who are willing to come on board as well. We are in conversation with a lot of them already, and it depends where we need to move. So whether we're moving to Angola, we have people who will be able to assist there too.
All right. Good speaking with you, and good luck. We hope that you will be utilizing. Governments will actually work with you and maybe put up these structures as rapidly as possible. And that's just, in a way, we hope we never actually need them because of COVID-19. All right, Africa Umoja there. That's one of the directors, Katie Brock, talking about the offer to work with government and the private sector to rapidly build hospital infrastructure and shelters in this fight against the COVID-19 virus.